Hello everybody and welcome to this month's update video for February. Let's jump into it. So we have right away, obviously, new books starting for Block 4. Really important, please, that you make sure you get these correct books. I do want to take a little bit of a moment to talk through these because there are some important differences. So I'm going to start with Year 4 English. One thing to note, obviously, we're now moving from the mathematics focus block to the English focus block, that we will be using this book here. And this is an English Year 4 book. It's a fantastic book from Galore Park. But it's really important to note that, unfortunately, this book will be staying with the tutors. And the reason for that is they're very large. They share with the tutors, so it's primarily what we're going to be using in the classroom. So just be aware that although the students will have access to this book and it's what we're going to be using, because it's got some fantastic comprehensions in there, the children won't be taking it home. However, of course, for homework, they will have the two standard books here, the Rapid Test 3 from Schofield and Sims, and the CGP 10-minute tests, again, GL assessment, which is fantastic. For Year 5, a lot of books today. Obviously, we're going back into our maths and our English style books. So it's just well worth talking through these. Of particular note, please, everyone, this applies for all Year 5 students. The awesome Maths and English book, which I believe will have gone home with you in Block 2. It's really important that this book comes back, and I believe this is the book that has been labelled with a sticker, Awesome Maths and English. It's something along the lines of please don't finish and please bring it back in Block 4. Well, this is Block 4, so please can you bring back Awesome Maths and English to your Week 1 lesson, and that's just so important. If you're not sure, I was just bringing more books than you need, and we can always check them off, but it's this one here. It's this Awesome Maths and English. And so for all GL students, that is the case. They will also be receiving 6 new books, so the Maths Buster, the No Nonsense Maths book, the Maths Practice Assessment books, and then for English, some practice papers, some SPAG, so spelling, punctuation, grammar books, and finally some quick practice tests again for English, which will compose sort of comprehensions. There's one additional requirement for our Reading Boys students. So if you are a Reading Boys student, and again, you'll know you're Reading Boys because you're focusing more on, well, obviously Reading School, but also things like creative writing. You'll notice here for verbal reasoning, comprehension, support and practice workbook, also outlined in red, that was also issued in Block 2, and that will also need to come back. So for Reading Boys students only, please bring back this same Maths and English book, but also this one here, the verbal reasoning, support and practice workbook. And please do be very careful, because I know there's a lot of books that look similar to this one. So it's the verbal reasoning, comprehension, support and practice workbook. Do give that just a double check for me to make sure you get the books you need. But again, it will also have been stickered in Block 2. If you're a student who has joined us and wasn't here for Block 2, please don't worry, you'll be issued with a fresh book. Moving on, just important to mention that we have our non-verbal reasoning masterclasses starting soon, 5th of March. So these are very similar to our maths masterclasses that we were running and all the other ones. You'll see here, again, under event bookings on the website, this is where you'd find the Teach Right masterclasses. We're covering off non-verbal and spatial reasoning, so just like what you might consider sort of the 2D non-verbal question types and the 3D question types. And let's just read through a few of them here so you can see you've got shrewd similarities, you've got orderly odd one out, which is fantastic. You've got 3D views of 2D shapes, which is a classic question. That will also cover the variants where you're looking at them from the left and the right. You have hidden shapes and clever cubes and nets. Now, this is really important because I know lots of people ask us about cubes and nets. They find those quite challenging. We have matrices and sequences. Obviously, matrices and sequences have very similar approaches, hence why they're put together. And then finally, rotation and reflection. Really, really important that you can reliably distinguish between the two. So there's fantastic topics. Well worth going through, well worth practicing, so please have a look at those. Again, if you book 6 of the classes, I believe you get a discount if you use this code, so TIR Masterclass 23. Well worth doing, especially if you know from these past blocks you struggled with anything non-verbal. Other important things, we have more parent workshops coming up. So 25th of February, we have a parent workshop focusing on maths. Really important. We know lots of people wanted help with maths. There's nothing better than having informed parents who know how to get involved and help. Also to understand what are the expectations. And there are things that are different from school. So for example, in school, you'll often have maths teachers, and I myself was like this when I was at school, saying, always working out, always show all the working. But we are entering a competitive exam where actually, if you can get away without showing working, really the phrase you would use is the minimum necessary working, you're going to be faster. If you're faster, you're going to have more time to answer more questions, or even better, you can have more time left over to check. So as a parent, knowing that, being able to differentiate between what is the right amount of working, what the best techniques are to help support your children, really useful. And sorry, there are 2 dates here. There's one on the 25th of February in Maidenhead, and also on the 4th of March from Reading, and they both share the same time slot from 9 till 11. So again, you can book those online. You'll see here on the Parent Workshop tab of the events booking page. Of course, Louise Swan and the fantastic Book Club. We know when it is. It's Sundays afternoons on the Zoom call, and get involved with Louise, share various snippets, read out, get involved. Can't recommend it enough. The children who attend absolutely love it, and Louise, I know, loves it as well, and they find it really useful. And again, the more we can encourage reading in our children, the better their results are going to be, the better their comprehension, the more words they're going to learn. So we encourage voracious reading as much as possible. Homework Support Club is, of course, continuing on Mondays and Tuesdays. Get involved. On a Monday, we know Year 4 from 5:30 to 6:30. GLA assessment, which is now both Year 5 on the Monday, it would be either from 6:30 to 7:30, and on Tuesday, the slightly earlier slot from 4:30 to 5:30. Parents have asked, do you have to sign up? Do you have to get involved? No, simply turn up. There will be a link in the email that accompanied this video. So you just turn up, and it can be for 5 or 10 minutes just to ask a question, and you can leave, or you can stay there for the whole thing. So please do feel free to just use it as a drop-in, just to check a few question types. That's absolutely what it's there for. We know the children who do that do very well on the homework, which is exactly the point. Final important information, just to summarise. Please do remember to drop off and pick up on time. We have had a few incidents where parents are coming very late or even picking up very late. It's really important, especially as many tutors will move on to other centres afterwards. Please make sure you're as on time as possible. No lessons within the February half term, so the 13th week commencing the 13th of February is when we're away, so please be aware of that. Louise's book club will be occurring on the 5th of February as per usual. The first maths parent workshop, we said, 25th of February and the 4th of March. And of course, homework club every evening during term time. So again, during the half term February, the homework club won't be on, but otherwise we'll be there. Well, guys, that's the end of our video. Thank you so much. Of course, any important questions, do please reach out to your tutor or at the office. Thanks so much, everybody. See you soon. Bye-bye.